talked to Marcus Freeman today and his coaching staff, and I thought they had a good quote. Don't beat Notre Dame. Is if they play mistake-free football. You know, they have a good team. I was able to go to practice on Tuesday up there, and they look good. And I'm telling you, Michael Mayer, their tight end, he is all that and more. He is really a special athlete, and they can move him all over the field. So to me, that's a really big question of how does Ohio State's defense handle him. But they believe in themselves, and Michael actually himself told me, listen, if you're not a Notre Dame fan, you don't think we have a chance, and we don't care. We know that we're good and we believe in ourselves. So we'll see what happens, but they feel very confident as well.
For Tyler Buckner, talked about baptism by fire. Your first start in college level is a sold-out horseshoe. What do you expect to see from him tomorrow night?
Okay, so this is a fun story. This is not the first time he will have been to the horseshoe because he was recruited by Ohio State for lacrosse. And so he's been on this field before and committed actually to Michigan as a lacrosse 8th grader before he switched to football. He is a really cerebral, really calm and poised kid. The thing that stood out to me about him in practice is his operation. You know, quarterbacks, we rarely talk about how they operate. How's the snap count? How do they look getting the play off? I thought he looked really good. They have been working on their silent count since June. So they are prepared for the noise and the environment. So I think that's really good that they're preparing this young quarterback for this big moment.
Marcus Freeman returning to his alma mater, but he's been deflecting almost every question about that. What do you expect the emotions to be like from him as he gets set to play in his alma mater, or coach in his alma mater?
Well, okay, I just know human nature, and every time you pull up to the shoe as a player, you get chills, you get a special feeling, you get this special tingle down your back, and so I know he's going to get that same tingle. It's just he's coaching the other team, so it's interesting. This is a cute story. So his mom and dad will be here. They've been, you know, big supporters of his, but his father is a season ticket holder for Ohio State, so he will actually be sitting in his Ohio State season tickets, watching his son as the new head coach at Notre Dame. So you can't get a more cool life twist of a story than that.
Thanks, and of course, Lorenzo Styles' dad, you know.
Yes.
A kid on each team and stuff.
Yes.
I'm sure you examined that aspect.
I did, and so they have a plan for that too. So the mom and the women of the family are going to be sitting on the Notre Dame side supporting Lorenzo, and the dad and the men of the family are going to be sitting on the Ohio State side supporting Sonny. So I think it's going to be a really cool situation. We've got a lot of family ties, a lot of brother connections here on these two teams.
Thank you, Holly.
Yes, sir.
Just your take on Jim Miller. I think you got to talk to him probably.
Yes, I did, and I've known him a long time.
Yes,
obviously,
yeah.
watched him as a coordinator for a long time, and I got to do the game Oklahoma at Oklahoma State last year when the Cowboys stopped 4 straight game-winning attempts by Caleb Williams in that offense. So I've seen firsthand what his defense can do. I think he's really, really good. I think his instincts are great. And he told us something cool today is that he's constantly running game simulations with himself. So he's on the team, what do I call here? What would I call here? What would I call here? And so that he's keeping his instincts and his game calling alive and well through simulation. It just shows you a little blink into his mind of he's got great instincts, but he works to have those great instincts.
You've covered a lot of games. Does this game feel like it has a different level of anticipation than most?
Yes, it does. Number one, because these two teams don't play that often. These are two of the biggest brands in college football, and then it's opening weekend. So I just think all of those things are combining, and then you have Notre Dame with a new head coach that played at Ohio State. I just think the storylines are really unique and wonderful and super emotional.